Korean Percival. Yes, Korean Percival. Yes, yes. Which, yeah, is an upset for sure. Is an upset. And here we go. We're getting into the grand finals here. We're getting into our best of 3. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Leylines, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Little Fairy. It is Percival. Go. And we have seen Percival go for nothing but double gas openers against Classic, and we expect to see that trend continue here against herO. As we mentioned, Percival, he is known for 2-base all-ins. Like, he's known for just non-stop 2-base all-ins, non-stop 2-base aggression. We have seen here, Percival, we have seen him expand in the past and take a third in this matchup, but usually he's forced into it. Like, usually it's not his like plan A, usually like it's a plan B, a contingency plan. If aggression fails, then he's forced to expand, forced into a longer game state. And once again, double gas. Double gas opening here out of Percival. You can see here he's scanning for proxies. I don't blame him. Again, Percival, he has a reputation, so here he's scouting, checking for proxies, checking to make sure he does not get cheesed out early on, as he's checking the third base location as well for a proxy. Oh, okay, does pull back. Patrolling here at the natural. We can see, of course, that there's nothing early on, but herO just making sure he's safe. Gate, cyber, expand out of herO. Percival never really achieved anything. I mean, I would not be so harsh with the phrasing, but in a way, yes. Percival, he did make it into like a season of GSL, and Percival did retire. I should emphasize that as well. For those that are maybe unaware, Percival, he did retire for a time. He went and he conducted his military service. Fun fact, he came back at the end of last year. He came back in, I think it was November. It was either October or November of last year. So he's been back for less than a year, and I remember when he showed up, I was like, oh my god, you're back, you're playing again. And he expressed and he said that, like, yeah, I'm back just for fun, like, you know, I'm here because I enjoy the game, want to play the game. I'm gonna be competing a little bit, yes, but I have no intention to to commit like as hard as I did before, and to devote as much time to StarCraft. And then he got hooked. So he was playing a lot of tournaments throughout like November, December, and then he started streaming again. And since then, it's been a couple of months, of course. It's been almost a year, and he's been on the grind. Like StarCraft got its claws into him and dragged him back in. You're never really gone, sort of thing. And Percival, he's doing really well recently. He's been achieving a lot and improving a lot, and I would say getting better results than he did previously in years past, to be honest. It's been quite impressive to see his growth over time. I think even yesterday, I want to say that he went to the he went to the ace match against Gumiho. Or did he beat Gumiho? Hold on. Did he beat Gumiho? I'm referring to last week's Pegasus Cup. Let me just double check that. In my mind, he beat Gumiho, but maybe he just went to the ace match. As we have our initial opener. Oh, charge opener. Oh my god. Twilight counter to charge out of herO. We'll get into it. For now, I'm just quickly double checking. I need to know if I'm crazy, as the Reaver does get behind the middle line, and Percival, he does scout, does confirm the Twilight Council. Does confirm. And yep, just double checking. Yeah, Percival, last week he beat Gumiho. Like, Gumiho's another big name, and Percival did bring him down. Not crazy. But yes, did beat Gumiho last week. Did beat Geralt this week. Just beat Classic. Like, it's pretty impressive stuff out of Percival. As the mind drop does come in, he does pull the voice. No! It does pull the voice. Mind shot going to be going off, and whew, very last second reaction there. Out of herO does pull away in time, kills one of those Widow Mines, and will defend. Hi. herO, calm down, Poppy, calm down. does defend against the mine drop. Behind this, again, as we were trying to emphasize, it is going to be a charge-based opener, which is a rarer sight. This is designed to shut down all-ins, though. Early charge is designed to shut down early tank pushes, ideally. Speaking of, we do see Percival setting up back at home, getting to his own 3-1-1 setup. Early tank production out of Percival, early tank push. And hey, we just spoke about this. Charge is designed to shut down these early tank pushes. Oh boy. So this is where the reputation works against you. As I just mentioned, Percival, he's known for 2-base all-ins, he's known for aggression. That's why herO was scouting for proxies at the start of the game, and that's why herO opened up charge specifically. So he does see the move out, the Adept just saw the tanks, just saw the main army. The boys are being pulled, yep, 2-base all-in out of Percival, and herO, he's getting ready. Now, the downside of going into charge is that you can't engage ahead of time. With Blink Stalkers, you would be poking away at this army, getting a couple of Marines, blinking back. Here with charge, you're looking for one big fight. Looking for one big engage. Tanks are pushing forward. You can see here is trying to bait out the army and trying to force field him down. Wants to lock him in. Shield battery's done. So also go for the dive. Tank's a little bit late to siege. Nice mine shot though. Yeah, mine shot goes off. The Marines are going to be going down. And can he get on top of the first tank? He cannot. Yeah, has to back off. Playing it safe. Does pull away. More Zealot reinforcements. Boys are being pulled. Tanks are unsieged. Uh-oh. Tanks, they did unsiege at just the wrong moment here, as they could have punished this. SCV's going to be going down. More weapons here out of herO. Still a very clutch hold. Very close. But now there are no SCVs. Now there are no SCVs, only one tank is sieged. Zealot's have arrived, and herO, he will clean this up. He will clean this up, he will shut this down. Charge will say collapse on everything, and herO will defend. Yeah, he defends, he cleans up the army. Again, very patient play to herO. That was really close. That was really close, really clutch. Honestly, if Percival hadn't unsieged at that moment earlier, he might have just broken through. It was a very clutch hold. I say that nice juggling here does keep two of those tanks alive, but herO is chasing him down. Yeah, here he does chase him down, does get a tank, does take down one of the tanks, does force Percival back. Behind this, remember Percival, he pulled the boys, he's down in workers, down in economy. Here he is thriving on 3 bases. And here he defends. He defends. From here, he's getting further ahead. We have +2 on the way. We have Blink on the way. We have the Bay on the way as well, getting into Colossus production. herO doesn't have to push into the natural. He can just calm down, back up, and macro up. You can just macro out of this. And again, herO just had a really good read as to what Percival would go into. You can also see the difference between herO and Classic, where, as we just, yeah, let's go. If at first don't succeed, try it again. Here we go, we pull the boys for a second time. Here comes the second all-in. herO is getting a 4th base. herO is being a little bit greedy. The Observer does spot the army. herO getting ready for the surround. As he's coming in from behind. Tanks are sieging up, he's got 2 tanks. Zealot's taking on top of the first tank. The first tank does go down instantly. There's 1 tank left. And yeah, the full surround. The full surround. Zealot's just engulf the army here. GG gets called. Then herO takes game number 1. Whew, GG. As herO, in a way, he almost hard counters Percival. I say almost hard counter because despite the charge-based opener, despite the setup there from herO, Percival, he still almost broke the 3rd. Like, I'm still referring back to the moment where Percival, where he unsieged, right? Where he unsieged those tanks just as the boys were being pulled, just as herO collapsed on the army. He was able to take a better fight, able to get the first tank kill, if you recall. So still a very, very close game. But what I was getting at is you can see the difference in approach from herO and Classic. Where Classic, if you recall, despite the reputation of Percival, he was trying to get away with a little greed. I'm still talking about the Stargate openers, of course, like as opposed to the charge opener of herO, which is more designed to shut down aggression than anything. So very different approaches. And with that, we're now getting into game number 2. Gonna be loading into Tokamak. Let's go. Best of 3 finals is weird. It is. I feel like I'm left wanting. but it is an oddity here. There are some tournaments, like I think Dave has been hosting some tournaments which is like pure best of ones, even like finals best of ones. Like we've seen like some crazy stuff like that. But I do agree, having a best of 3 finals, it feels a little bit incomplete. It's like give us all the games back, give us all the games. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Twisted Minds. It is herO. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Terran player, the Red Terran himself, the South Korean Terran representing Little Fairy. It is Percival. We go. Just catching up. Gumiho is arguably the best TvT player in the world. I would agree. I would agree with that. Like, Gumiho, he has some killer TvT. But Percival, his TvT has been improving a lot, just because if you've been watching the CranKy Ducklings as of late, you'd know that we bring this up recently. Percival, he's been playing a lot of Terran versus Terran. The amount of times in the past like 2 months that he's played against Byun and Bunny has been insane. In the EWC qualifiers, at DreamHack Dallas as well, during a lot of these Open Cups, like he's been playing so much against Byun and Bunny. Typically, Percival, he would lose those matches. But he would often make a series out of it. He'd often take games, take maps, and because they play so often, his CVT has been gradually improving. To the point where, hey, he beat Gumiho not too long ago. So, of course, there are benefits of that. It reminds me, of course, of like Clan versus Max Packs, like circa 2021, 2, and 3, where because they played so often, they played so much, they both improved their respective TVP matchups to the point where they got to be like the best in the world. But from here, once again, double gas. No surprise, once again, double gas opener out of Percival, going for the faster factory. Again, we expect this every game of the series. If he ever doesn't, then we'll make sure to point it out, for sure. Meanwhile, we'll see how herO does open up as well. He might blindly go into a charge opener. I'm not too fond of the idea of doing that 2 games in a row, just because the likelihood of your opponent going for a tank-based push is going to be a little bit lower now, but we'll see. See, that's a reactor first. Now, as a reminder, last game it was Tech Lab first. So it was Rax into Tech Lab. Here it's going to be Rax into Reactor. Now we have the Tech Lab being built on the factory. From here, we're going to open up Widowmine into Widowmine drop into a more tech-heavy follow-up. We'll keep an eye on Percival. Otherwise, you could just go straight Cyclone. Yeah, there we go. Cyclone's on the way. So Cyclone production has begun. Behind this, Twilight Council out of herO. Now, my assumption is it's going to be a Blink opener out of herO, but as we saw Charge last game, we could see that again. Depending on what herO feels like is coming his way. This is what the Tech Lab. Twilight Council's done, going into Blink. Okay, standard build here this time by herO. I do like this. I do like the idea of him mixing things up from game to game, to try to stay unpredictable. Meanwhile, it is going to be early Cyclone into early tank production. No add-on swap. Okay, so really fast tank production here out of Percival. So once again, he's going for another tank push. If herO were going for another charge-based opener, I would favor herO in that kind of position. But here, Percival has potential. Hallucination Scout does come in, and he does get eyes on the Tech Lab. He confirms Cyclone. He also confirms no add-on swap. He doesn't see the early tank, but he can assume. As Percival is already pushing. So yeah, just a really, really early timing here from Percival. He's rallying across the map, rallying the tank, the Marines, and the Viking as well. If you recall, Ryung did this build against, was it Christiana? Ryung did this, yes, against Christiana earlier in this broadcast. He went for the same build. Hallucination does come in from behind. Does come in, he sees the Viking. He does spot the Viking, he knows. Yeah, here he knows, he's aware. Shield batteries are on the way. Throws down a second shield battery. Throws down another pylon to keep everything powered. And it's going to be up to herO to engage ahead of time. Here he rotates to the third, but he does miss the army. Coming in from the left. does come in, is going to be spotted. herO does hallucinate some stalkers, love to see it. And now he gets another tank. Yeah, the first tank goes down, massive pickoff. And without the tank, there's nothing here. To be honest, yeah, there's not much here. Marines, they get shut down. Medevac, oh my god, barely escapes. But that's the Medevac I spoke too soon. That does get hunted down as well. And Percival, he will lose everything. The tanks, the Medevac. Again, that first tank is just so crucial. It's so pivotal, and GG gets called. herO, he shuts down the push, and herO, he will take the series 2-0, becoming our very first Galaxy Open Cup champion. GG. GG. GG, well played. More of an abrupt end here to game number 2. Again, Percival, this time he went for a much earlier move out, a much earlier tank timing, of course. But alas, and he was able to get on top of the natural, sure, but the tank was more exposed, and herO, he was able to rotate in time and just collapse on that tank. More importantly, herO, he scouted the move out. If you recall with the hallucination, he did see the move out, so that told him to warp in additional stalkers, so he wasn't caught off guard. Like, he knew that the army was coming. He knew it was coming, didn't know exactly where. If you recall, originally he was at the 3rd location and he was setting up at the 3rd, but regardless, he had an army to work with. He did not get caught with his pants down, and herO shuts him down. GG. GG, well played. And again, unfortunately, it's a best of 3 finals, not a best of 5. I would have liked to have seen more games. Smerge. And even though Percival's run ends here, he still had a really impressive performance. Very impressive here from Percival. Like, there's no shame in going down to herO. Like, herO, he's arguably the best Protoss player in the world. Winding it back here, Percival, he took down Trigger, and he took down Classic as well to make it to the finals. So again, big wins here for Percival. I would say upsets. In general, I do favor Trigger and Classic over Percival, so for him to bring them down in tonight's broadcast, well done. GG, well played, well done here to Percival. Goes down to herO. But it's herO. It's herO. GG. Here we go. Clearly we need a best of 15 finals. True. Give me the best of 69. Ay. But last, with that, GG well played, and again, herO, he will claim the win here. And shout out to Galaxy for hosting this event. He does have plans to host more, but most likely after EWC, so post EWC, if there are future Galaxy Opens, and we'll do our best to cover that event here on the channel as well. We'll do our best. Otherwise, that's going to be us wrapping up our broadcast here for the evening. A bit of a shorter broadcast, some shorter games, a lot of all-ins, like Cristiano and Ryung. 2 base all-ins all around. Percival versus Classic, also a bunch of all-ins as well. So just shorter games here, but GG, well played. And we can catch up on our schedule. Bam! We can catch up on the rest of this week's coverage here. We just wrapped up with our Tuesday evening broadcast, and you can see we're going to be live tomorrow morning with the Pegasus Cup. Pegasus Cup is going to be tomorrow morning. That's going to be at 9 AM KST. That's going to be at 10 AM AEST. That'll be in 11.5 hours. 11.5 hours time, we're going to be live with the Pegasus Cup. If you're curious, what is the Pegasus Cup? That is a weekly open tournament that is a little bit more favored towards the America's time slot and the America's time zone. So because of that, we often see players like Estrella, and we see a lot of the other American players like Dolan, sometimes Future, for example, Starkiller, and some of the others, alongside the DGen Europeans that stay up, so Clem and MaxPax, alongside, I want to say, Geralt, Skillus, Nicaract. There's like a select number of players, Jumi, there's a select number of players that are like full degenerate, that play like at 5 AM in the morning. God damn it. So that you can see the regular EU degens there, and also the Koreans that wake up in the morning, the non-degenerate Koreans that do wake up in the morning, will also be taking part. What I will say as a heads up regarding tomorrow's Pegasus Cup, usually we see MaxPax and Clem just because they often do stay up, but remember, Clem is in Korea. He's in Korea. Clem is in Korea, so is Rainer, so there's maybe a less of a chance that Clem wakes up in time for this. We'll see. I know that Trigger, he has them on a strict schedule. I know that he does whip them into shape, and he does often make them go to bed early and make them wake up early as well, so yeah, we'll see if Clem and Rainer wake up in time for the Pegasus Cup. We will see. If we saw a best of 69, would they die of exhaustion first? We've had a couple of best of 69s in the history of StarCraft, right? I want to say we've had like 2, maybe 3, but often best of 69s are like split in between a couple of days. I think I want to say like maybe 3 days, maybe 3 days. Yeah, maybe like 3 days to go through that series. But we've had a couple in StarCraft's history. Behind this, I think if you recall Base Trade, I think Base Trade, they hosted 2 of them, right? I want to say they hosted 2 best of 69s. I want to say featuring, was one of them Bunny and Snoot? When I say Bunny, I mean the Danish Bunny, not the Korean Bunny. And I want to say a best of 69 included TLO as well. I want to say maybe, but I'm pretty sure like Bunny and Snoots they faced off. This was like back in Heart of the Swarm. It's been a while. It's been a while. Jim Rising, Jaime, maybe Jaime as well. But when it comes to the rest of our schedule, we have the StarCraft Evolution League as well. We do have that on Thursday and Friday. Those are going to be the Last Chance qualifiers. We have the podcast, of course, a Thursday evening. That is our weekly talk show where we talk all things StarCraft versus Puck. Oh, okay. Yeah, again, there's been a couple hosted by Base Trade. It's been a couple. And likewise, there's actually one extra event here on the schedule that hasn't been posted. Is going to be OSC King of the Hill. That's actually going to be 3 hours after the podcast. So yeah, it's going to be quite an intense Thursday, actually. Three casts on Thursday. It's been a while since we've featured that much StarCraft. I mean, I say that it's been like a week since we've done that. But yes, so we have 3 casts on Thursday. I'm going to try to get as much sleep as I can in between. And we also have SDO on Saturday, and we have a Sparkling Tuning Cup on Sunday. So plenty of content throughout the week, plenty of content on the horizon. And with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed. And again, our next cast is going to be in 11.5 hours time. Also, a bit of a PSA as a reminder, Esports World Cup next week. Esports World Cup is going to be next week in actually I think less than a week's time. Hold on. Yes, in just under a week's time, we are going to be live with the Esports World Cup. Also, on top of that, something we're going to be talking about during the podcast this week is the groups have been released. I want to say earlier today. I think the groups were released. Yeah, earlier this morning. So we have the upcoming matches as well. Oh boy, it's gonna be crazy. We have Estrella versus Bjorn, Lambo versus Big Gabe. Ooh, they're gonna be facing for the play-in stage. We have Clem, we have Solar versus Zound, Shin versus Raynor, first round. Ooh, I think that's a little bit rough for Raynor, not gonna lie. The ZVZ. Trigger versus Maru, that's gonna be a spicy rematch. herO versus Lancer, Cure versus Showtime, Classic versus Rogue, and Cyril waiting for his next opponent as well. Okay. So really intense matches. I think one of the big takeaways from the bracket for Esports World Cup is that the playoffs actually have a third place match, which is a bit of a newer thing. Some of the online tournaments do feature third place matches, but it's a rare sight in these big events. In these big offline tournaments, bronze matches are not often seen, just because, especially because the players just lost as well. Like, because they just lost, like, there's a little bit less on the line. Obviously, there's a lot of money on the line, but yeah, it's still a rarer sight to see bronze matches. So that is going to be a feature in EWC this year. So that is going to be interesting to delineate between third and fourth place. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We're going to be heading off here for the time being and give some love to Eba. Eba is streaming. I know that Eba recently, I think, started streaming with Cam and Mike, so you can give Eba some love. We are done here for the time being, and we'll see you guys next time. So thanks for watching, whether it's tomorrow, whether it's sometime next week. You know, we're live on a daily basis here on the CranKy Ducklings as always. If you see something that you like here, and if you can't watch it live, then check out the VODs on YouTube. Exclamation mark socials in the chat. We do upload to YouTube on a daily basis, so if you can't watch live, YouTube, is the place to be for all the VOD content, for the podcast, for SDO, for Esports World Cup, for Home Story Cup. We were the B stream for Home Story Cup, so if you missed out on the Home Story Cup, then we have all the coverage there as well. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego.